You walk into a networking event ready to make connections. You've practiced your intro. You've got a strategic plan. You've even got your stack of business cards ready to go. Are you actually setting yourself up for success? Or are you making the same mistakes that kill opportunities before they even start? In continuing our series on networking no-nos, today we are talking about the biggest mistakes I see at networking events. Welcome to the Creating Opportunities podcast. This is a place where we help smart, ambitious professionals create better relationships for success. And why? Because people matter. They're messy, but they make life better and they matter. And I am your host, Cassandra. I am a speaker, trainer, an iced coffee lover. It's important you know that. And I am here to help you make deeper connections. So let's get into it. In-person events are a gold mine for networking, and honestly, once you learn how to network well at events, it's fun and not torture anymore. I know some of you right now are like, are you kidding me with this? I promise you it actually can be fun, but we have to make sure we're not making mistakes. You have to be approaching these events the right way, because too often people show up with the best of intentions and still leave empty-handed, or worse, with a stack of business cards that honestly mean nothing. So let's make sure that's not you. Okay, mistake number one, treating business cards like confetti. These cost money to make. We don't want to just be to everybody. You want to be giving them out at the appropriate time and to the right people. I am not making this up. I was at an event where there were a bunch of tables, right, with people like vendors with stuff. And I watched a woman walk around with her business cards in her hand and go up to somebody and go, "Hi, who are you? Oh, great. Here's my card. Hi." And then she just moved on to the next table. Did not ask them a question, did not ask them a product, didn't even really tell them what she did. She just went around and then went to the next table. "Hi, who are you? Here's my card." It skeeves me out so bad. That is not how we network. No one is gonna go home with that card and go, "Oh yeah, this is that woman who just randomly handed me a card. Let me just send her an email right now. Can't wait to talk," since she didn't want to talk with me at all at the event. It doesn't go well. So don't be passing your business cards out to everybody. Now, also, don't ask for cards immediately. This one is also mind-boggling to me. I may have told this story before, I'm not quite sure. I was at a networking mixer that overall I really enjoyed, but I met this one person who immediately was like, "Hi, what's your name? Do you have a card?" And in my head, I'm just going, you don't know anything about me. You didn't even learn my title yet. You don't know if I'm a great connection for you, etc. It just felt like you're trying to collect cards. And he truly was. He was like, "I'm a connector. I'm great at connecting people." And he walked me over to a table where he had old school binders full of cards, and he just added my card into the sheet. Like, it's like, y'all, if you go to Staples, they still sell these for the younger people here. There are inserts in 3-ring binders where the inserts are for business cards. Like, you just do business cards in them. And this guy put my card in a business card insert in there. And I thought, well, this doesn't do anything. And no shocker, hasn't connected me to anybody. And frankly, after that interaction, I will be honest, I didn't follow up with him. It just kind of skeeved me out. Because as much as he said he was a connector, how could he genuinely connect me with anyone when he didn't even know yet what I actually do? So instead of just grabbing cards, make sure you're waiting until you've had a conversation to go, "Oh, this is so great talking. I'd love to get your card." It doesn't mean that you only get cards from people that you know, "Hey, they could help me with this exact thing," or "I know the perfect person to be a referral for them." Essentially, getting a business card is asking for someone's contact info. And you would not walk up to someone at a bar and go, "Hey, can I get your number? Hey, can I get your info?" before having a conversation. That would be creepy as all get out. You would talk and then go, "This has been really interesting talking. I would love to take you out. Can I get your number?" Right? You wouldn't meet someone that becomes a potential friend at a birthday party by walking up to them and going, "Hi, person sitting at the table eating cake. What's your contact info? I would love to chat with you more." When you haven't met them yet, you have a conversation at the table. "You know, it's been really fun talking with you. Is this strange? Would you like to get lunch sometime? Do you want to hang out again? Let me get your number." Same thing here. We need to have the conversation and then we ask. And with this, aim for real connections. I am not a person who says you gotta go talk to every single person in the room. No, no, no. I would rather you have 3 to 5 good intentional conversations and get their contact info than have 20 quick conversations with cards from each and you don't remember who any of these people are. Okay, this next one, I'll be honest, is about to hurt a lot of people, but it has to be said. Sticking with your safe circle. circle. So you know what I'm talking about. Either you go to an event with a friend or you get to an event and you see someone that you know and you just go, oh my gosh, I want to go just talk with them and stick with the familiar face and feel comfortable all night long. And I will be honest, I've done this. I will say I sometimes do this because sometimes networking does feel like, oh, I've got to rise to this challenge and opportunity. A lot of times these things are after a long day of work, you've driven across town, and you're just kind of sitting there going, I would love to just talk to somebody who already knows me instead of working up the effort to talk to people I don't know. But it defeats the purpose of networking. So instead, challenge yourself to go meet someone new. Meet 3 new people, and then you can introduce them to the person you already know. That's as easy as it gets. But with this, I'm gonna say something that I know a lot of people don't want to hear. This familiarity and wanting to stick with your circle is why I don't recommend going to events with friends. Or if you're going to like a conference and your friend is going to, and you're gonna split a hotel room, things like that, make sure you're both making very different plans for the day. Sure, meet up for dinner, sit together maybe at one coffee chat or something like, or one lunch, but you don't want to go to things with a buddy. It just becomes way too easy to stick together, and that's not why you came. And also, if you go into an event with your friend next to you and you guys are together, you are not giving off the energy that you want to meet new people. Not to sound woo-woo, but it's true. Like, you look like, I've already got my person, I don't need to talk to new people. And it kind of makes you unapproachable. Again, I'm gonna relate it to dating and romantic relationship things. You know, there's that thing of like, if you want someone to ask you out, you can't be, if you were in high school or even junior high, you can't be standing with the group of your girlfriends the whole time. If you want that boy over there to ask you out, he's not gonna come up to you in the circle of friends and go, hi, do you wanna go to the movies on Friday? No, he's gonna wait till you're alone. Well, it's the same thing. If you're already in conversation, no one wants to come break into that to be like, hey, I wanna meet you. So make sure you're both like meeting other people if you do go with someone to an event, but I highly recommend not doing so. Mistake number 3, not asking good questions. Asking good questions is honestly the key to meaningful networking, both when you meet someone in person the first time and as you continue the relationship. We want to make sure that instead of just talking about ourselves, we're showing curiosity in them. But I want to make something really clear. Asking good questions does not mean they have to be clever, zany questions. In fact, there's a lot circulating in networking worlds right now giving the advice of like, don't ask people at an event. So what do? Because, right, people are more than just their title and that boxes you in and you don't hear more. And I get it and I'm not against it, but if you do ask it, I don't want you to shame yourself for asking it because it's such a natural thing to ask. So for example, I was at this 2-day conference here in town and I walked up to a group of women I don't know and I said, hi, I don't think we've met yet. What's your name? And she told me her name and she looks at me and she goes, so what do you do? Oh shoot, I forgot. We're not supposed to ask, so what do you do? As if networking at an event is not stressful enough and awkward enough to most people. I overall find it fun now, but I get most people find this stressful, and now you're having to sit there and feel shame because you didn't do it right and you asked what do you do, and you're going, they told me at the opening session not to ask people what do you do, and so I've already screwed this up. No, I've honestly had that experience a couple of times now that I feel like this has to be brought up. So yes, while true that you probably want to ask something more like, so how did you hear about this event? Or tell me what's something fun you're working on right now? Or what's something interesting I should know about you? Great. But if you accidentally start by saying, so what do you do? It is a natural place to start a conversation. I start there a lot. The key is we just don't stay there. Move past that. So they tell you about what they do and you go, oh, it's great. What do you like to do when you're not at work? Or what do you like to do for fun? And move on to something else. But we don't need to shame ourselves for that question. Good questions are really just thoughtful questions. The other side of this is I hear people getting told to ask kind of zany questions or clever questions, and it might make you memorable, I'll be honest, but you also might like catch people so off guard, and it can feel awkward. So really, it's all about genuine authenticity, right? We just want to be people who are asking authentic questions with genuine curiosity towards the other person. So that might not be, what's your favorite cereal? Or what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? It doesn't really do it in terms of authenticity, but saying, how did you hear about this event? Oh, and then building off that into, oh, interesting, have you gone to other events like this? Or tell me more about this friend. How did you two meet? The person who introduced you to the event. Like, that's what matters, is building an authentic conversation. So that's what thoughtful questions do. In all honesty, if you want more help on how to approach a group, how to ask good questions, what are some other things you can start with? I cover all of that and so much more in my Confidently Connect workshop. It's an on-demand workshop, and it literally walks you through what to do before, during, and after any in-person event so that you can network with confidence. So the link for that will be in the show notes. Okay, mistake number 4, getting stuck in one conversation. We all have a hard time with how to leave a convo, and honestly, this can happen for a couple of different reasons. One is just like you don't know how to hang up the phone, so you don't know how to end the conversation in person the same way, and you want to move on. But also sometimes it goes back similarly to number 1. You finally met someone, you're enjoying talking to them, and it feels familiar, and you'd rather just stay here talking to them all night than go have to talk to other people. Honestly, in some ways, it's a great problem to have, that you met someone, you started talking, and all of a sudden 20 minutes have gone by, and everybody else is moving around the room meeting people, and you haven't yet, because you had an authentic conversation, but we need to go meet at least 1 or 2 more people. So at this point, a polite exit is key. And to give you help with that, I actually have a whole video on how to gracefully exit in these conversations. And so it is worth taking a look at that when we're done here. I will put a card to it here. It'll be in the show notes below, because you need to stick around for mistake number 5 and then go learn how to exit. Okay, so speaking of mistake number 5, here we go. Not following up. Now, I shared this mistake last week in the biggest networking mistakes, but it bears repeating. You spent the time, your free time in some way. You took off work. Maybe you got a sitter. You squeezed this in at the end of a long day to go to an event, and you meet people, and then you don't follow up with them. Honestly, you should have just stayed home. Over the last couple of years, as I have delved into networking more, I have learned this is where people struggle. We think a lot of it's at the event, and don't get me wrong, events have their own issues, hence why we're talking about mistakes today, but I'm learning people don't see past the event and realize that networking is about following up over time, and so we need to start with that initial follow-up 24 to 48 hours after the event ends. Little extra tip I don't normally share here, but I will today. I normally am a 24 hours later kind of girl, and I've realized for some things like a conference, following up 24 hours after the conference ends is actually not the greatest time, because people are still decompressing and trying to get into their lives, that your email ends up getting missed. So 48 hours, even 72 hours. The key is don't meet people and then never talk to them again. Follow up. Take the extra step to tell them, I really enjoyed getting to know you, and building that connection so that you can start using other steps to turn it into a real relationship. Now, before we wrap up, I would love to know, what's the worst networking mistake you've ever seen? Please leave it in the comments. Let's be kind. Let's not throw people's names out, but what have you seen? We all made mistakes. Don't think I haven't. We've all made mistakes, but let's learn and grow. Now, again, if you want more help on how to feel more confident at in-person events and network with ease, go grab that Confidently Connect workshop. It is in the description box and the show notes. And since we just talked about that networking events are just one piece of the puzzle, there's also those follow-up Zoom one-on-one chats or one-on-one in-person coffees. Well, next time we'll be digging into the biggest mistakes people make in those scenarios. So I'll see you in the next one.